from Evil Energy, I ordered their fuel line kit. -6 PTFE brake fuel line. Comes with all the fittings that you need. It's even got the fittings to connect up to the fuel rails on an LS motor or on the fuel tank, which you'll see the setup I'm using for the fuel tank. So I got that, and I also got a 10 micron frame mounted fuel filter from Evil Energy as well, and it came with the various fittings, and I've got the mount for it, and this will be mounted inside the frame rail in the back. So it's got a nice aluminum clamp to mount the fuel filter to, and then a nice aluminum cased fuel filter. It's a metal mesh, 10 microns, so that should be all that I need as far as fuel filter goes. And that's where I'm at. So there will be some, I want to get the fuel tank mounted up and figure out routing on fuel lines before I take the frame apart and start doing all that, but there will be videos to come as far as that goes. So on to the next thing. Alright, so this is the next item that I have ordered. On my 67 truck, the 67 Chevy I have, I used one of the Blazer gas tanks in it. I wanted to go a different route with this one, and I'm trying to make it as nice and custom as possible. So I ordered this. From Boyd Welding. And this is their aluminum fuel tank for the C10. Put this out of the way. The one I got uses the GM MU 2101 fuel pump, which you can get for about anywhere from, I've seen them from $250 all the way up to about $350 online. Most of your local auto parts stores will have them. I'm doing side fill. I got the rollover fitting, or the rollover valve, and it's already installed. Got the vent tube. It's got another port here that I'm going to have to close. And I'll get an Allen wrench. We'll take this cover off. So with this, I've got the 0 to 90 ohm sending unit. You can't use the sending unit that comes with the fuel pump because of the baffling in the tank, so I won't be using that. And like I said, the fuel sending unit is already installed. I'll make sure that that's tightened down whenever I get to that point. I wanted to have this before I started trying to run fuel lines so that I could make sure that they're routed correctly. I also got their mounting kit. Just take a look. So the mounting kit comes with pieces of rubber or isolators between the frame rails and the frame. Came with the machined brackets to bolt it up. That'll go inside the frame rail. And then it came with the bolts to thread through with the washers and screws to bolt these down into the frame rail so that they stay in place. So, and another sticker. So I don't know if I'm going to leave this raw aluminum like it is, or if I'm going to try to paint it black to go along with the theme of the truck and the chassis. I'll decide that down the road. Like I said, I need to get this mounted, and then that way I can get my fuel lines routed. One of the reasons why I chose this one instead of the one with the Aerodyne pump is this tank with this fuel pump that this uses does not require a fuel pressure regulator, because the fuel pump has a regulator built into it. So that was one of the reasons why I went with this. And this fuel pump that this uses is commonly used in Camaros and other GM products. So being able to get a replacement quick and easy if it ever goes out same day is not a big deal. So take this cover off and let's see what we got underneath it. The welds, just like with Tinworks, beautiful welds, beautiful tank. Wish I could weld that good. And this is where the fuel pump goes, and it's got a special ring here. All of these are locked down. Get this all out so I can show how this goes. Like I said, they Boyd Welding is the website for the tanks. They're out of, I believe, Ocala, Florida. I ordered this, and less than 2 weeks, it was here. So the ones that come with the fuel pump already in them are they're close to $800. This one was with the side fill options and the sending unit and everything. It was a couple $100 cheaper. And like I said, I chose this one because of the ease of getting a fuel pump for it. So let me get this off and get some close-ups of this tank. I like the fact that it's got a cover plate on it, so while you're working on it, you don't have to worry about a bunch of garbage going down into the tank. I will have to find a fitting to cap that. I'm assuming that that's just going to be like a pipe thread. So it's got this flange and nice fuel tank, baffled inside. I'll probably rinse it one time before I put everything together. So this is the flange where the fuel pump will go. You use the factory gasket, it sits down in there, and then it indexes. If you look down in there, it's baffled. So it's got the baffling. Looks like it's got one baffle that runs this way and then two that run that way to help prevent slosh. Nice, beautiful welds on the aluminum. I got the one with the 2-inch fill, and then it's got the vent for when you're filling it, and it's got another plug here that like I said, I'm going to end up probably just capping that. I guess if you were running one where you needed to run a return line, that would be a good place to put it. And again, the fuel pump or the fuel sending unit is already installed, so you don't have to worry about that. And the fuel sending unit is it's got a float on it. It goes down in there and it's just got the float that goes up and down. It's not a swing arm type. So that's the tank. Alright, so the GM MU2101 fuel pump, this is it. It's got the swing type sending unit on it. You won't be using that. It also comes with the O-ring. So this O-ring fits down in that groove that's machined into the tank, but you have to remove the sending unit. So to do that, there's a connector right here. You can push the button in and just kind of work it out and unplug that, and then there's 2 tabs. Push those and push up on it, and the sending unit comes out, and you won't need that. And it does have this ear to index the fuel pump into the tank. So fuel pump sits in there and indexes in place, and then this ring goes back over the top of it, and everything screws down. So I wanted to have this all set up because whenever I put the fuel line in on the truck, that way I know exactly where it indexes so I can make sure I get it routed correctly. With the Evil Energy fuel line kit, it came with these little adapters, and the way they're set up, it's got a collar here that unscrews, and there's O-rings in here, and this will actually seal up on the fuel pump. So on the fitting for the fuel line, that little collar slips over like that, and then the fuel line slips on, and it's got O-rings in there to seal it, and then this just turns in to lock it down so that it doesn't come loose. And then that converts the quick disconnect to an AN style fitting, so it mounts up like that. So now you've got the fuel line secured there, and then you can just take a regular AN-6 fitting and it'll screw on to get your fuel where you need it to go. So that's one of the nice things about that kit. So I got the kit I got for the fuel line. It's 25 feet. So I'll be able to run from the back of the truck to the front and still have plenty to run any other line I need. So for doing the mock-up on the truck, I will install the fuel pump, but I will not have the O-ring in it, because I do not want the O-ring to get damaged while I'm doing it.